Hello, everybody. This is Etienne Marcel Pertuta Sports Inquirer, and we're happy to be joined by Georgia State women's soccer head coach Ed Joyce. Ed, thank you for joining us on the program of Fighting Peaches. Team is off to a solid start, including some success in conference play. Just where do you think the team is right now overall as you just progress through this portion of the season?
I think you said it right. We're in a solid place. We're not precisely where we want to be. We don't think we're firing on all cylinders yet. Obviously, starting off 2-0 in the league was really positive. And then, the Marshall one, long trip. Didn't go the way we wanted it to, but obviously we get a good opportunity now to rebound against a really good Texas State team, and that's a team that you get that win, and it kind of kickstarts you back on the right track.
Yeah, and before we get to just how you're doing in conference play so far, we haven't talked since that big win a few weeks ago at Florida, beating SEC foe on the road. Really big program defining win. Just what was that like to go on the road, get a win against a team like Florida, and do you think that really just helped you propel just some solid performances after that?
I think so. I mean, obviously, if you go to SEC and it's everything, got everything that they want. Their facility's fantastic. They've got all the support staff and all the video angles and everything, big video boards. So it can be intimidating, especially for the young team that we have. So I think to go there and get a result definitely gave belief to the players and made them feel like they can achieve maybe more than they thought they could, or even let them know what was achievable. So I mean, we're really looking back on that one as a something that hopefully kickstarts a good season. But we're also in the mindset of like that's already gone. It's done. We need to move on to what's next. So I think we use it in the back of our head to kind of push us into what's achievable, but also understand that the next game is it's kind of the cup final, as we say, and it's the most important one is the next one in front of you.
Yeah, and then we'll get to Texas State in a moment. But that Marshall contest, slow start, went down a few goals, but team fought back and was able to make it competitive. Just what about that contest? I said as I mentioned, just down a few goals, able to get it close. Just we're not to come out a victory, but just saw some resolve from the team, being able to get goals, especially from Suzuki and some others, just to get your back into that contest.
Yeah, odd game. We never really got started. Did come back and probably did enough realistically in the second half to win the game on a different day. Their goalkeeper played really well. They defended and had belief in what they were doing. So, I mean, for all the credit to them, just we weren't anywhere near our standard on the day, and I think the girls are well aware of that. And this is a league where if you're not at your level and you're not at your standard, you will not win games. So, I mean, we're using it as a learning experience for the younger players especially, and as a motivator for the older players to really push on and help the younger ones understand that like this is a league where you have to turn up every single game for 90 minutes and put performance in. So that's the main takeaway from that game is, we came back, we gave some resolve, but you can't start games in that fashion.
Yeah, and we've talked so much about Aaliyah, and obviously she was named Player of the Week earlier in the season, and her goal scoring contributions. But Suzuki has been a big development for you as we speak. I think she has 6 goals on the season. That's been I know she's been with the program a little bit, but that's been a big revelation. Just that goal scoring from her. What about her development and just how beneficial that's been for the squad?
It's been great. I mean, she came in from junior college this year, so she's only been with us, 6 weeks now. So I mean, for her to score the goals she's scoring, I think we're still trying to figure out where the best place for her to play is. I think it's tough in our environment when they're not with you in the summer, so you get them pre-season, and then you've got to figure out who they are as people, what motivates them, what their best positions are, what places they kind of impact the game the best, where they maybe don't impact the game the best. So crazy to say, but we're still probably figuring out what's the best spot for her in context of everybody else. But she's a supremely technical player. She works really hard. She does things the right way, and in front of goal, obviously, as we're seeing, she can finish. So I mean, I expect her to score more goals. I expect her to carry on. The more confidence she gets, I think the more she's going to give us.
Yeah, and then Gabriela Gonzalez scored the other goal at Marshall on the penalty kick. What went into that decision for her to take that kick? I mean, you have some talented strikers on your team. And that was her first goal of the season. What was the decision making process with that? Was that to get her on the board, get her some confidence? But what was that decision to get her to the kick? And she converted, which was successful, of course. But what was that decision
Yeah,
process?
to be honest, she won the penalty. I mean, she dribbled to the byline, beat a player, and went across it and won the handball. So I wasn't involved in a decision, to be honest. She felt confident in the penalty. Aaliyah usually takes penalties, and I think her confidence in wanting to take it kind of persuaded Aaliyah to let her have it. I'm a big believer in me assigning someone to take it is kind of an old school way to do it. Whereas if somebody grabs it and is confident, I'd rather have a player who wants it and is confident taking it in that situation than somebody that I force them to take it. So players solved that one, and it worked out well for us. And I'm proud of her for being confident in herself to step up and take a penalty in a really important part of the game.
Is it one of those theories of if you cause the penalty, you should take the penalty? Is that kind of your thinking, or
No.
do you? Because that's kind of I look at it usually that way. But I mean, I've seen managers. Someone's maybe trying to reach a milestone, a hat trick, or maybe some like career or something, or season tally, or maybe a player that needs to get a first goal or needs to see the ball go, into the net. Is that kind of like? Do you think that goes approach when with the players they kind of decide, or even the captains they're kind of like seeing how the game is flowing, and that ultimately kind of how it goes?
Aaliyah's in year 3. Aaliyah's been our penalty taker. Before that, Elena Diaz was kind of our penalty taker, and that was kind of just where we went with it. But in this situation, I think it was purely, Gabby won it and went for it. I don't really believe in you win the penalty, you take the penalty, because a lot of times the penalty's a foul, and if you get fouls and you're not feeling 100%. I don't think putting you on the penalty spot is a fantastic idea. But in that situation, I really think it was more two players had a conversation. Gabriela felt very confident, and I think Aaliyah felt that, and I think was very unselfish and to let her do it. Because a lot of times goal scorers want to take the penalties and get the goals, and it's very difficult to shirk that responsibility. Whereas I think in her situation, she saw something in Gabriela that made her feel confident in her ability to take it. She went with it, and obviously the rest is history, as they say.
Yep. And then now moving on once again here with head coach of Georgia State women's soccer, Ed Joyce. Team makes a trip to Texas State this upcoming weekend, long road trip, another conference contest. Just how preparation's going for that overall, and just how what we have to do well as a unit to emerge with some points and keep yourself in that top half of the conference standings.
Yeah, they're a good team. Obviously, they're top 50 in the RPI, which is exactly what it says. They're a good team that they score a lot of goals. They're attack minded. Some individual players that are pretty special moving forward. So we've got to defend better, which normally has been a bit of our calling card. I think we were a little bit, like I said, we won at the races really on Sunday, and it kind of showed. So for us, it's going to be that intensity level from a defensive side as well as being crisp in possession. So we feel we've got a good response in us. It was a long trip to Marshall. You're driving 10 hours each way. It's not ideal preparation to play anybody, but we still should have done better on the day. And now obviously we're flying halfway across the country to play Texas State. So it's this is a conference that is as wide as the SEC is now in terms of travel. So we really have to get to grips with that with a young group and figure out how to get the best out of them on the road and prepare them to perform in what will be a hot, humid environment in Texas.
Absolutely. Well, Coach, thank you for your time. We really appreciate it. Safe travels to Texas State, and we'll be following.
Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
All right, and that was Ed Joyce, head coach of Georgia State women's soccer. Really appreciate the time he gave us as the Panthers go on the road to face Texas State this upcoming weekend. As always, to follow everything that we do, head to the mothership, thesportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also go to our social media platforms on Twitter/X, Instagram, and Facebook. And finally, make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our audio and video host, which include YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and more. Once again, Etienne Marcel Patoot, the Sports Inquirer. Until next time, good fight, good night, and be safe.